Da, 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 da. That's the McDonald's one. Damn it. Anyways,
That's
sidetrack. Had to take my wife's car to the dealership, oil change, that sort of thing. And it's in this big conglomerate for people in the area. It's called the King's Auto Mall. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a giant circle, and there's just dealership. Just like it's a giant circle. It's great. If you want to buy a car, you just drive there, and anything you ever want. I've known about this for a while. I was astonished how many few cars there were on the lots. Like
yes,
there's
I've seen this.
like one of the things you drive in, you pass this massive Toyota dealership, and they've been around since I've been a kid, and it's always been we're the largest Toyota dealership in the tri-state area, blah blah. And there was just nothing, just like barren bones. Like if you called it a chicken wing, there would be nothing left to eat.
We drove by a Subaru dealership of all things. You wouldn't think these cars would be like sold up, but that lot was basically empty. And one day I was getting gas at a corner, doesn't matter where, but across the corner is where we always get our rental car stuff when we need that. And I actually called my wife and I'm like, hey, I'm standing at whatever corner. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm looking at that Enterprise dealership or place. There is not one car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And I'm like, no. She's like, is it closed? I'm like, no, they're open. But there are no cars. Yeah. Weird. Oh, the other thing, by the way, sorry, in related note, we were driving to a dinner with my brother-in-law and my sister, and he was driving. Doesn't matter who was driving, but we it's some back road, weird, middle of nowhere, darkness place in Pennsylvania. We drive by this gigantic warehouse-looking thing, and there is possibly 200 18-wheel truck, like the truck cab, all just sitting there lined up in rows. And he goes, my brother-in-law says, "Oh, you can see all those trucks over there? It looks like a graveyard for trucks. They're all waiting on components. They're all completely built, but they need this one needs one, this one needs two, whatever. And as they come in, they'll give them to the people that wanted to buy them."
Here's the other sort of crazy thought. I could sell my car right now for about $6,000 to $7,000 more than I paid for it with 10,000 miles on it. The problem is, and like I've been tempted, like, man, the problem is that if I order the exact same car that I have right now, if I'm lucky, I will get it by the summer.
Right.
And it's like I can't go 8 months without a vehicle right now.
Yeah. See, you have. Does your wife go into work?
She does.
So that's the issue. My wife convinced me. This is probably a couple of years ago now, to try to go get by with one car. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's super expensive for insurance once you have 4 people, primary drivers here. But I'm like, this is never going to work. And honestly, it's been fine. I mean, just like last week, coincidentally, we had to drop the car off to get the inspection sticker and an oil change or whatever. And they drove her home, and then she was going to get an Uber to go pick it up. But a friend of the family basically came by, and she's like, "Oh, I can bring it over there," and it just kind of worked out. But I mean, it's been fine. Now, if your wife worked from home, I would say to you, you know what, you should go for this.
If my wife worked from home, it would be, I think we'd be considering it much more seriously. And then I was like, wow, what if I just
How long does you drive to work?
15, 20 minutes. But the problem is just the after school, and then like if the kid needs
No, the reason I asked was if it made sense for you to drive her there and back, but that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Plus there are days you're gone. You go
right. That's the thing. Like, my thought was like, man, if I could go find a Honda Accord for like $7,000 that I can reliably drive to Michigan,
right? Just buy it with cash,
and then be like, but
yeah.
The problem is then there's the convenience factor and just the headaches of going through selling a car, then trying to buy a car, and then hoping that it's reliable, and then purchasing a car, and then waiting potentially. Like, it's part of it's just like, you know what. You made the right decision.
That's why I wish I could move right now, because we get to sell our car and never have a car again, probably, depending on where we went, you know.
And it doesn't make sense to sell my wife's car because that car is fully paid off, and it's, I don't know, like, it's just, the market is nuts right now. If you want to buy a vehicle, it's like, good luck. Just good luck.
And by the way, this component shortage is why Disney Plus didn't do so well this quarter. Wait.
What? Go on.
No, I'm just kidding. I made a crack about this on Twitter. It's like Disney Plus subscriber growth has slowed dramatically. They also have a lot of costs related to the content they're creating, right? So
sure,
that part of the business actually experienced an operating loss. But no, I just made a joke like, oh, that damn Component shortage is hitting everybody in big tech.
Aren't they at like 100 million subscribers or something crazy like that?
Like well, actually, let me look. All across Hulu and ESPN Plus, it was 179. Mm-hmm. Disney Plus is 118.
Yeah, like it's not like they. I mean, they went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh yeah. And by the way, I mean, compare that to Apple Plus.
Yeah.
Which is possibly 20 million. So yeah, Disney is Disney. I mean, they have so much content. I mean, they have a huge advantage right out of the gate, which is the argument you could make with a Nintendo and mobile gaming. It's like, guys, you've got all these franchises. Like, what are you doing? And they just, we don't care. But anyway, they took advantage of that, and that was smart.
Yeah. Other things that were announced, Windows 11 has a new, it's sort of a Teams-ish, but it's in Windows feature where, what do they call that little display? Like you hover over it, and then it pops up, and then you can click.
So I call it Taskbar Share.
Taskbar Share. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the official name. I mentioned this yesterday to Mary Jo. Like one of the problems with all these new Windows 11 features is that if you actually go and look at how they've referred to it, they use multiple different names, and finding like the official name, if there even is one, is difficult. But Taskbar Share, for lack of a better.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's a nice little thing, I guess. And expect Zoom and all this.
It is a good idea, but it is exactly like that mute unmute button in the taskbar, which is this feature is not what they described originally. If you go back, June, and read the description, it's not what they deliver, and it is also Teams only right now. It's yet another Windows 11 API that third-party developers have to access if they want to use it. And it's like, guys, and by the way, no mention of Skype. People use Skype for this too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Apple, I wouldn't say coming out of nowhere with this, but they announced a new service that is targeting small business. They effectively it's device management and control is sort of the mantra. But I think
so.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, from our perspective in the Windows world, the knee-jerk reaction is to make fun of this. And I will say that it's Apple, right? So this thing only manages Apple devices. They're never going to add Windows and Android to this, right? So this is like those special unicorn small businesses that only use Apple devices. You have a Mac, an iPad, and an iPhone, and it's basically kind of Intune, and as well as I don't know what the equivalent onboarding process. I guess Intune it includes onboarding, so it's kind of an onboarding management, device management, and clouds. By the way, Cloud 2 on the top tier, which is $12.99 per user per month, 2 terabytes of iCloud storage, including backups, which is good. I mean, I don't know how it works exactly, but I mean, you get 1 terabyte for Microsoft 365, obviously.
Yeah,
it's fine. If you're in the Apple world. This is never going to impact my world at all. But I mean, I suppose for that corner of the internet,
who's all in on that stuff, and
they're out there.
And if you're out there trying to find a Valve Steam Deck, I always call one a Stream Deck, but Steam Deck, much like trying to buy a car, you're gonna have a little trouble this holiday season.
Well, you're gonna have a lot of trouble. So it's not gonna. Well, actually, if you haven't thought about this yet, we might have trouble next holiday season, right? So the people who pre-ordered this or got on the reservation list or whatever won't get it. The first ones won't get it until February at the earliest. We'll see how that goes. I suspect if you try to reserve one for yourself now, they would probably tell you no date or, mid 2022 or something like that. It's going to take a while.
It is going to take a while. So, yeah, what is today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah. About all we got for Thursday.
That's it.